if you don't ask me that particular question that would bring out that particular answer, you would not get it. I would just answer based on the question you ask me.
I've seen videos where people are saying that, they pick videos because of TikTok. They say, Momoti Accra, or like you're in Accra and they are demonstrating. Do you know how we are suffering like in the villages?
Who can write on their CV that I'm a full-time photographer? And that's a good thing. We should clap to that. We have full-time video editors. We have full-time podcasters who do everything. They don't go for 9 to 5 and all of that.
It supports them because they are putting in a lot of effort, a lot of resources, a lot of energy to create whatever that they are creating and then putting out there.
Forget some.
So my favorite writer in Ghana is myself.
Okay.
Adewe syndrome. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Act Your Age podcast, Ghana's #1 podcast and the fastest growing podcast in Africa.
Okay.
Numbers don't lie. You have seen the numbers and they're telling you the truth. Today in house I have like royalty from Kumasi. Quite recently, we saw people moving from Accra to Kumasi for the final funeral rites of Otum for Asante Hema, right?
Yeah.
And then today we have people coming from Kumasi to Accra for a podcast. So podcast is connecting people. Today in house, we have the guys from Tekamsu, right?
Yes.
Tekamsu podcast.
Yes.
Please introduce yourselves.
Hi everyone. So it's Arabna from the Take I'm So podcast, and yeah.
Hi, my name is the Native Son from the Tikam.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Oh,
Tekamsu,
damn.
right?
Hi, my name is the Native Son from the Take I'm So podcast, and we're glad to be here.
You know, the problem is he has not been coming for episodes, so
He's forgetting
he's literally forgetting the name.
Life is life, and I have to be out of this space for some time.
Yeah, I get you.
But I think
You're so excited to be here, by the way.
I think it's fun to have like other guys from like podcasts because the space is growing in Ghana, right?
Yeah, it
and
is.
I think you're the only guys from Kumasi that I follow. They know that you're doing something big in the podcast landscape.
They were doing something big. Go with.
Or like, is there other podcast in Kumasi that I don't know of? Do you know of any in Kumasi?
I think I've seen one. I've forgotten the name. I've seen one, in Kumasi, where they discuss like random stuff and all of that. And they are doing so well. I've forgotten the name though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, some. There are a few. Maybe they are not like really into the space where they are actually like they are on all platforms, but then I see the boys making moves.
The boys,
yeah, some of the boys are making moves, and then very soon we'll have like amazing content out there from like a lot of people. So yeah, we're glad to be people who are also in that space and then also exploring podcasting and everything. So yeah.
Basically, what they are saying is that in Kumasi there is Tekamsu and then the rest.
Yeah,
they can't mention the name. That means it's just the rest.
I agree. That I agree.
Only 2 podcasts.
They comes in and the
rest.
So normally when we begin this podcast, we like to begin with an icebreaker, right?
Okay.
Today's icebreaker is what's one propaganda that you're not believing in?
That you don't believe in?
Yeah, no matter how they are trying to push it down your neck. You say this one,
dating for fun.
Dating for fun,
Yeah, dating for fun. I don't believe in it.
Why?
I mean, if I'm dating you, it should be for marriage.
Hey.
Yeah.
Even in JHS and SHS.
Let's say you don't have to be doing those things in SHS. Yeah, kid, focus on your books. Marry your books and give birth to success.
You can see that Shaq is stuck in.
Because that's so nerdy.
So yes, I believe in dating for marriage. If you're ready to settle, then you date. If you're not ready, focus on your books. Get the money. When you're ready, you date, you marry, period.
Wait.
You disagree?
Yes. Because currently my mind is not marriage, right?
Yeah.
So anybody that I'm moving with, we should know that it's just like vibes. Till I enter into 30s and I say, okay, I'm serious, I want to settle down. Then I'll think of marriage. I think I should stay celibate till.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till you're ready. Because you can't use me for vibes. Yet.
No, but if you're on the same page
vibes,
as vibes are,
You there?
if you are on the same page as for vibes,
That's why it's me.
Yeah, he said
Me,
you.
I won't be on the same page. If we are doing vibes, it's for marriage. That's it. So
Anything
yeah.
What about you?
Are we in a safe space?
Oh yeah. This space is safe.
Because I feel like dividing
Mhm.
where there is like a lot of tribalism going on in the country, the propaganda about doing this way, doing it that way for this culture to feel safe. I feel like we should just do away with all those things, because I mean we're all Ghanaians first of all. You know, we should just do away with those tribalism. Obake, Akwaba, welcome.
I mean,
Are you saying we should see ourselves as one tribe? So it's just one people. We don't have.
You know, Ghana is
differences.
like multilingual when it comes to like our dialects and then our languages, and then we don't really, or there are not structures in place to say that this language, either Ga or Akan, is like the official language of communication in the country. So it's like people use any language anyhow, right? In quotes, English is like the official language or the language that they use in like academic setting, office spaces and everything. But then when it comes to the widely used any of the Ghanaian languages, it's Akan.
Yeah.
Like that's to the best of
it's
my
even
knowledge.
key. It's
So I feel like we should just let things be instead of like trying to create this whole you've done this for these people, do this for us. It has to be for us. I mean,
But you know, one thing I'm realizing is we say we are very tolerant, but when it comes to these things and you see the discussions people are having, then I get scared. We say we are very tolerant of each other, and it comes to a language and we are all going up and down about this whole issue. Because let's face facts. Chi is a widely used language in Ghana.
yeah.
Is that not a fact?
It's a
Why
fact.
don't we want to accept that? And there's a need for us to get a national language. I mean, we read English.
Yes.
So we talked about the fact that there's a need to get a national language to propagate certain things, Jiggy, so that we can free ourselves from mental slavery.
disclaimer: we're not advocating for like any language. though.
Exactly.
We're
Not
just
because
saying
you're
that,
from Kumasi.
Yeah,
But it's a
what-
fact. A fact is a fact.
That's not because we're from Kumasi. Please.
But a fact is a
we're
fact.
just
you
we're
know?
just trying to say, I think if the upper hands, if they put structures in place to create like a national language, I mean, I think it would be hard, but then it's doable.
Yeah.
It could be more, and then I think we should also allow our newer generations or our children that are coming up to also assimilate themselves with the local language, because there are lots of people that you come across and then they don't know how to speak any of the local languages.
Yeah,
All they can
that's very
communicate is
bad.
English, and then it's
And if you learned like foreign languages, you can see people who've learned Spanish, French, but they
Very
can't speak
true.
any local
national
any local
language, and
Yeah.
that's a
it's very,
problem.
very bad, because I think over the weekend I was in workshop, literal zones, and we're talking about the language of African literature, and in conversation with Ngugu Ataigo's the language of African literature, how when we say African literature or African language, what is it? If I am writing in Chi, do we call it Ghanaian literature or do we call it African literature? And then if somebody is like a descent of Africa and then is writing in Africa, do we call that writing an African writing? So there's a whole lot of conversation, academic discourse going on, and I think there is a need for Ghana to have like a defined language that guides the people, because language is the people, and then without the language the people are lost.
That's an award-winning
Yeah,
speaking right there.
Let me play devil's advocate, right?
Okay.
One, we would say that Chi is the most popular or widely spoken language,
Facts.
but I would say it's because somebody pushed the agenda to make it so, right?
Who pushed that agenda?
Who pushed that
Because
agenda?
in the school that I went to, right, even from JHS, you just get to study two languages. It was either Ga or Chi, right? What
Yeah.
about Ewe? They didn't give it to us as an option to choose. So there was an agenda to push these two languages, because even we were in Accra, so they said, let's add the Ga. But most people chose Chi, even in our classes. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you are saying we are going with one language, how do we go about it? Do we vote on it? And if we are even voting, we say I can't set as a larger group in
Yeah,
Ghana, so they
yeah.
might win based on the votes, right? So won't one ethnic group feel neglected or sidelined?
So I think that is where there needs to be like deliberations and participatory communication, because it's an accepted fact that Chi is widely used in Ghana. When you even go to the northern part of Ghana, we have people. I've been to Boku before. We have people who can literally speak good Chi.
Yeah.
And they can communicate in Chi. So Chi has actually traveled. And that's a fact we all need to understand. Do you get? And I feel like it doesn't mean that if we use Chi as the national language, Akans are superior than the other. It's just the language that's being used. So there's that need for communication, that need for dialogue between the various ethnic groups to understand these things, the need for a national language. And it's not like people have the impression that it's an intentional effort to push the Ashantis to make them like superior over other ethnic groups. If there's that dialogue for people to understand, because I believe communication comes with understanding. So if there's that communication, there's that understanding, people will be okay with the fact that let's use Chi as a national language if we come to the understanding that it's not that we are pushing Akans or we are pushing Ashantis to be superior than all the ethnic groups. It's just about the fact that there's a need for a national language to help even kids that are growing to understand certain aspects in our local setting or even in teaching. Because if personally, when I'm reading something and it's in Chi, or it's in a local dialect, you understand it better. You don't force yourself to understand. You literally understand in reading or in communication. But when it's in English, sometimes you need to Google some words to understand. Exactly. So if we get a national language, it will aid in a lot of things, in communication, in education. It has a lot of advantages getting a national language as a country. So this should be something that should be talked about more. Probably an open dialogue. Let's get to know. As for the fact that Chi is a widely used language is known, but let's get to know how tolerant we'll be when we get to use Chi as the national language. And guys, don't come for me because I'm an Ashanti. It's a fact. It's a fact. Yeah.
If you were an Ewe, would you have said what you said?
You said?
If you were an Ewe, right? Would this still be your position?
If I get to understand the importance of having a particular language as a national language, why would I not understand? Because the benefit will not go to only that particular ethnic group. It benefits all of us. I should understand.
And my second question is,
Can I add a submission? I'll just take you quickly to one of my classrooms back in uni. That's social linguistics, where there was an incident. It was a very, very debated issue across like Ghana, where there was an incident where a nurse had been posted to the Volta region, and what she didn't know was that she was supposed to communicate in Ewe, right? And she spoke to
when teaching or like when
not teaching, she's a nurse,
Mm-hmm.
right? So she's attending to her patients, and then she attends to the patient in the language that she knows best, which is Akan or Chi, and the relative of the patient makes it a big deal that why is it that this person communicated to their relative in Chi, because their relative does not understand Chi.
And why did she assume in the first place that she will understand Chi?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then it escalated to the government's level where they have to like say that if the Ministry of Health and then the government is posting personnel to certain regions, they should make sure that it's like trained people who can speak their language, or people who only speak their language. But then that's like, it cannot be done. Because there are a lot of fields that people are pursuing, and then it's not balanced. So when there are people in your community, you should give them grace. I will not say that the other languages are not worthy of learning, but then when it comes to Ghana, like if you look at our language landscape, we have like very beautiful languages. Dagbani, Ewe, Ga, Chi, like Fante, Ekwapim, like all those languages, they are very beautiful. And the language is universal in the sense that like the syntax or like the formation of it is like almost like the same, right? So it's easier to learn but then sometimes it's very complex because you need to be in the setting to engage with people more often. But then over here, people don't even use their own languages because sometimes they are trying to like hide their ethnicity because of like societal norms that if you are this, people will look down on you, so you have to like learn, you have to be this way. There are people who are like language washing themselves. I don't know if that's the word, but then that's like they are trying to wash their language so that they could come off or like pass for a particular ethnic group because they think there is like that idea of superiority attached to that ethnic group. And I think that's like the flaw that we have. We should do away with the ethnic groups. I mean, they exist. We cannot take them away. But then in communication or to deal with like the society and then everything, if you are dealing with people, you should just put your ethnicity outside and then deal with them as human.
The individual,
Understand them on certain levels so that, I mean, we can all coexist together peacefully.
Exactly.
You see, we're complaining that people now just speak English. They don't speak other languages. If you have a national language, don't you think people will now just speak their national language and then they leave aside any other language? Like even their own?
Yeah, that's a perspective. That's why I think, yeah, that could be a flaw if we should have a national language. But then I think that, I don't know the policies in place, but then I think it would be a good thing for the Ministry of Education to have like all languages taught in school.
All languages.
Not like
One person
not in the
taking all
sense
languages?
where not like in the sense where one person is taking all languages, but then there could be selected languages. And then by selected, I'm not saying like leave some languages out, but then it could be regional based. Like let's say if you go to the Greater Accra region, you know, there is Ga and then there is Ga Dangbe.
Yeah.
And so like you can select languages for a specific region to to be
study.
taught in school, because there are certain places they only teach certain languages and then they don't teach the others. So I think that if you start learning language is difficult, so it should be done at the like primal level. If you are very young and then you are learning the language, it sticks with you more and then it goes with practicing it. So I think it should be done in schools. There are a lot of things that are in the curriculum that's in quotes, they should not be there. Yeah, I mean like we've learned a lot of things in school, but then if you look at your life right now, what is pi r square doing for you?
Oh, you may not see it now, but it works.
No, like
for me, I believe everything I learn in class is very applicable.
Me, I didn't
in
like
my
maths,
life.
but then find Wi-Fi X. Every time we're finding X. Right?
But on the national language that we're talking about, I think we can still have a national language and make a conscious effort for people to still have their own ethnic languages as well. Because we all speak English, right?
Yeah.
But we have our own ethnic languages that we can still speak. Do you get? So we can still have the national language, and still parents can make a conscious effort that my kid can speak Ewe, even if the national language is Ga. Do you get? So in that sense, you can speak Ga, you can speak Ewe, and you can even still speak English. So that's like 3 languages in all, and that's a very good thing. Do you get?
Yeah.
So I don't think there should be that fear of, if there's a national language, people are going to lose their identity because they can't speak their own languages. Do you get?
And then, you know, in the world that we're moving in right now, like the direction that the world is moving into right now, it's like, if you know languages, you are valued.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of job opportunities for people who can translate, like even the English into like local languages. There's like, people are putting systems in place for like all these things. You know, you can just look it up on the internet and then you get like translation job. It's like, it takes minimal of your time. You just translate from English to
a certain
your
language.
certain language, and then you get paid for it, and that's like lucrative. People are making money, so I think it's for our own good to be conscious and then learn other languages. Right now, I don't know, but then I'm learning Ga.
Tell your thing.
Why are you putting me on that?
You said you're learning Ga.
I'm learning Ga.
Hey,
I'm learning Ga.
you should know this one now.
Opake.
But you know, one thing that I'm very scared of, or one thing that it pains me is language barrier. When I get to a place and I can't communicate with the person because I don't know your language, I don't know how to communicate with you. It hurts me so much. So I'm even learning sign language so that I will be able to communicate to people who cannot speak. Yeah. So I think so far the languages I can speak French a little, Spanish a little, why would I say a little?
Chi a little.
Full proficiency, Ga a little, fancy, kakra
Then
kakra,
there.
and what else? Yeah, those are the languages I can
Kekeda.
speak.
Kekeda.
Nekeda.
Hey, are you sure
Yeah.
Kekeda is like
It's fancy.
He's literally breaking their language small. If they get him,
no, not really. I mean, like you see the English language, right? Why am I even using the English language? Even the Chi, for instance, there are like varieties of it or like accents. There is a way that a typical Ashanti will speak Chi, and then there is a way that somebody who has also like lived in that setting would speak Chi, and then there is even like other varieties of the Chi. I come from the Western region, and then I speak Chi, right? But then there is a little bit of accent or some pronunciation like differences between the Ashanti Chi. Although I studied elective like Ashanti Chi in school, but then there is like intonation and everything. It differs. So
It's alright.
This is what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
Podcast. How did you guys start?
Interesting story. Should I go?
yeah, go.
Okay. So this was, we were in the same class, BA English, KNUST. And in final year, during our service, we did our service on campus. So we used to go for lunch together. We'll go and eat fufu. And when we go and sit, it's like we are all facing the same issue. Like that phase where you're transitioning from school to that adulthood phase where now you have to cater for yourself. Now you like nobody really cares, if I should put it that way. Now it's like you're trying to make ends meet as a very young lady or a young man. So when we sit, we are always talking about how hard it is, how things are really having a toll on us. And I was like, why don't we sit and have discussions on these so that if somebody is going through the same thing, the person knows that it's not new.
Yeah.
Take it as it is. It will get better. It's a phase that we all find ourselves. But once you see somebody talk about it, you're like, oh, okay. So I'm not the only person facing this. Everybody is facing it. So let me just take Let me just take it as it is.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But with the name, it was actually a poem we treated in class. So probably our poets would take that one. A poem we treated in class.
Yeah, so that's the title of the
poem.
Yeah, yes, take so it's a pigeon, which is like take it like that.
By
and Gladys Makes Hayford.
Yeah.
And the whole concept of the poem is that if God gives you this, and then like our fingers, they are not equal.
Yeah.
So if you get this, you take it like that. If you get this, you take it like that. Sometimes the road can be very long. You take it like that. Sometimes the road can be very smooth, very short. You take it like that. And then sometimes God can fill some houses with children, some with money. There is an imbalance, so you take it like that. So that's what we're trying to do. That this life is not balanced.
Yeah.
In as much as like we are all trying to find balance, there isn't balance. There will always be rich people. There will always be poor people. There will always be intelligent people, and there will always be like in quotes daft people or people who are trying. But you need to just take things slow and like let's say, you need to ask yourself, do I have a problem? If the answer is yes, you ask yourself, can I solve this? Yes, then you solve it.
Yeah.
Can I solve it?
Bit
No.
by bit, yeah.
Then you
Then
leave
you
it.
leave it.
Some things are out of control. You just let
Exactly.
it be. Go with the flow, right?
And one emphasis was on the fact that even though things are not smooth, there are people who are doing it. So we bring like young people who are doing something for themselves, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's painting, whatever you are doing. Come and share with us that even in the stress, How are you doing this? How is the journey looking like for you? So that if somebody also wants to pursue a passion, regardless of whatever is happening, you can see somebody who is doing it and feel like, oh, it's possible. With all this stress, with all this wahala, I can still do it. Do you get it? So that's the whole motivation behind the Take I'm So podcast.
It's nice to hear, right? And it seems you guys are young.
Yeah. It seems. Yeah.
And to pick.
I'm very 16 years old.
He's always lying about age.
Are you Miss Bell?
Yeah.
I've been 16 years.
So these guys are young to come fresh out of school and say you're going to do something like this, right?
Yeah.
Where was the inspiration from? Is it that you guys have done something similar in the past? Even to speak on mic into a camera, it's not everybody that is really comfortable with. You understand?
Yeah.
Let me go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm still like very shy.
But you're a poet, right? That means you do like presentations.
Not in that sense. I mean, I have mostly like stayed out of sight. Like most of the time when my poem is out there. I mean, I was out of school before my poem even became like a big deal. It was accepted into the curriculum and then now taught in school. And
Charlie,
I
you have to clap for that too.
Yeah.
Clack it.
I haven't been like on bigger platforms where I would have to like do like a whole spoken word, like, or read my poem or anything. I'm now getting into those spaces. But I've always been the shy person. So when Sewa teased the idea that we should start a podcast, I was like, in the heat of the moment or in the excitement, I was like, yeah, let's do it. But then what I didn't tell her was like, I have like fright for stage. If you set a camera on me right now, I'll just be nervous. I'm self-conscious throughout. So I was like, how are we going to do it? Well, we didn't even have equipment. But then to start, you need to talk to people about your vision. And then she's a very big advocate of that. Start now. And then you figure it out. So we spoke to a few people and then, we got things rolling. And then by the time we knew, episode 1 was out.
Yeah. And I am not a shy person. I mean,
You can tell.
I am so not a shy person. I feel like I was born for the camera. And probably in future, I'll be doing like media. I'll be in the media space.
Yeah.
I MC.
She's in the future. She's already doing it.
So when we had the idea, I was like, let's shoot it because I'm ready. Set the camera, let me talk. I will talk. Even if it's a parrot you bring here, I'll have a conversation with the parrot. But one thing, we spoke to people that, this is what we want to do. We have nothing. We have no idea about podcasting, but we want to learn. Teach us. And one thing, I had a friend called Oscar.
Shout out to Oscar.
Shout out to Oscar. Oscar was like, yeah, let's shoot it.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Oh,
the day I spoke to Oscar, I have this idea. Let's do podcast. Sure, Abna, whenever you're ready. I was so surprised because Oscar has the gadgets. He has everything. He has been doing video production. And guys, if you need any video, contact Drago Creative Hive. Go to Instagram and contact him. And I was like, sure, Abna, whenever you're ready, let's shoot this. We'll help you. You learn on the job. And I was so surprised. So I was like, okay, so whenever I have an idea, let me just talk to people.
Yeah, sure.
Let me just talk to people. And I'm that advocate of start now.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, start now. Even with a 7+ and you want to shoot a video, shoot it. Do you get? Because when you start, are you a celebrity? Nobody is even, it's just 2 views you are going to get. And you are saying you are feeling cringe.
Yeah.
Some of
With
us
2
are
views.
shy.
Come on.
Some of us are shy, please.
Come on. So I was like, let's start. And we had people who were ready to support us. Yeah.
So how long have you been doing it?
I think
We've celebrated a year. Then we're, let's say barely a year.
it's
sorry.
more than a year.
Yeah, it's been more than a year. So a year and then some months.
Almost
we started
a month
in
now.
March of
So
2024.
our 2 years anniversary will be next year, March.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If come far, Charlie.
So you guys started with video.
We started with both. We started with both video on YouTube and audio on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
So your first episode had a video element to it.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
I didn't want to
I think that's Genesis. It was where we did the introductory. We stated why we are
Want to
starting
do
the
this.
podcast, and then I mean, a few things have changed, and then we're also like learning on the job. And then if you look at the old episodes and
the
then you look
new
at us
episodes.
now. I mean, you see that now I look into camera, like I just have my hands and everything. But then in the initial episodes, I'll be like, hi guys. welcome to-" So if you look at podcast, like if you follow our podcast, you realize that she's mostly doing the intro, because if I start, I will mess it up.
Yeah.
Like I will mess it up. So she's always like the one.
But I
like,
think Chris is
spearheading
doing
it.
so well now. He's doing so well for himself. Now he does interviews alone with people. So yeah. he's doing
Increase my
well.
allowance.
I think you guys like your energy complements each other really, really well when I watch episodes.
Oh,
Which
thank
like
you.
it makes sense. One is like bubbly, the other one is much more reserved, but he
Yeah.
knows when to come out of his shell and then ask the relevant questions.
Exactly.
We started with audio for like a year,
Okay.
and we're planning to do like video.
Mm-hmm.
So we just wanted to like get feet to wet a bit and see how things are going to go before
Yeah.
we go into video.
How has it been like?
It's been Charlie expensive, crazy expensive,
Tell me
But-
about it.
but we are doing it.
Yeah.
One thing I want to add to what you said is that like start, Charlie, because if you say you're just planning throughout and want everything to be perfect, it wouldn't get to that level.
So 2000.
But once you start and you are going, people will help you along the way.
Exactly.
Somebody see what you're doing and say, "Oh, I can help you with this." Then he comes in and then he helps you.
Very
You
true.
don't even really have to ask, right?
Exactly.
But when you have the idea, share the idea with a few people and then see what they think or what they can add onto it. Then Charlie, run with it. Because once you're starting to run with it, people will help you on the way.
Exactly.
My mom will say, when your car breaks down by the road and you start to try to push it, it's likely people will join in and help you push it. But when it breaks down the road and you're standing there looking out, nobody helps you.
Exactly.
Right? So just try to
Exactly.
push your vision. And people will come on to help you. One thing I've noticed that you guys speak really, really good English.
Yeah. let
There
him
is-
land. Let him land. Let him land.
There is this stereotype out there that
Kumasi people.
Kumasi people can speak
Ah.
English. But when you are speaking English, there's no you can't even tell that they are from Kumasi, bro. So
When I started hearing that, I mean, I've had that for a long time. That hey, you are from Kumasi and you can speak good English like that. People are always surprised that you can speak good English. But the thing is, I feel like this thing is not only Kumasi people. Bro, for no one you guys have pinned it on Kumasi people too much. Do you get?
Let me be the devil's advocate.
Hey.
By the way, I'm not from Kumasi. I'm from the Western region. It's just that I went to school in Kumasi, and then I've been in Kumasi for like some time. So when you spend time with people,
you
there's,
assimilate.
like So I mean, but I don't really. Like, I don't really pick up on those cues. I mean, we know those cues.
Yeah.
No, wait. Are you confirming the fact that Kumasi people cannot speak good
No,
English?
no. It's not about the good English. You know
Okay.
the slave, the R, the
R,
L.
yeah.
Everybody does
Those
it.
one, yeah.
Hey, not everybody. I beg.
That's one thing, right? It's hard not to pick up on those things. Even like with the most brilliant of people that you meet out there, that slip can come out
Yes.
at any time.
Yes.
But then it's very, very common in Kumasi. That is why I think they penny on Kumasi people. So Kumasi, carry your R and L, they go.
No, I
But then
think-
Kumasi people speak good, very, very, very good English.
Yeah.
I mean, majority of my lecturers in KNUST and then the people that I've interacted with, they all speak very good English.
By talking about academia, we want like the common person on the street.
Common person.
Yeah.
No,
And
common person,
blah, pachopa.
Common person, waka cheese. How do you expect the person to be so proficient in English? Do you get?
I get.
But if you see like properly educated people, they speak very good English.
We are not buying
But with the
Westport.
R and the L's, it's something that's in the local language. Sometimes when I speak, it comes out like once in a while. When the word has a lot of R's and it has a lot of L's, so I take my time so that I don't
She has
do
had
the
a
R and
moment on the
L.
podcast.
Yeah, so it's a normal thing that happens to everybody.
Funny enough, the Ghans also have it, but we don't loud like that.
Yeah,
So the
yours is
Ghans
the
have
H.
it, the H. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when they want to say maybe heat, they will say I want to eat. Yeah.
They say I'm going home. Anyway, we all have our own.
That sounds so Nigerian.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they have it, but we don't loud it like that.
It's in the local language. The
Your
local
L1
language
affects,
affects
yeah.
your English.
Yeah.
So I'm sure those in the northern part of
Will
Ghana
also
also
have
have
yours.
their own, the chichi and all of that. So it's not only us. So you guys should relax for us.
But English, Because so we all studied English from JHS through to SHS, and even in uni you do like some basic English.
Yeah.
But you guys chose to study English as your main in tertiary. Why?
I'm a rejected lawyer.
Oh, you want to
Me
do
too, I'm
law?
rejected economics.
So that was not the initial plan.
Yes.
The whole plan has been to study
Law.
something else, and I mean we didn't get it. We got English. I mean we made you. It was hard. English is very hard. Like learning English is very very hard. But then
What makes it hard?
here we are. I mean to pick
Is it
somebody's
technical?
language and then to learn the rules, how to the syntax are like the rules governing like the language, and to make it yours as if like you are a native of that particular language. It's very hard because there are a lot of rules, a lot of do's and don'ts. We say this, we don't say that. We say this, we don't say that. So it's like very very complex, and then it's also too mechanical. That's if you are not using it a lot, because if I go to the classroom, I'm being taught in English, and then if I go back to my hostel, I mean my boys, would they speak PG, right? Or we are speaking like any local language that we speak, and then you expect me to like always flow like fluently in English. Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, I think with me, econs was my first choice, but they didn't give it to me because they said I didn't do elective math. Yeah, and you have to do elective math to do economics. But I'm so happy that I did English because it has helped me so much understand the language, understand the syntax, as he said. Because in class, you are literally drawing. There will be a sentence on the board, and you have to draw a tree to break down the sentence. Yeah, like you're doing. Is it photosynthesis? No, it's not.
No, when plants make
Dr. Fred, please come and look and say,
You
wow.
are literally breaking the sentence down into its smallest particle. Do you get? And it makes you appreciate the language better. It makes you understand it from its is it a morpheme?
Yeah.
It's a morpheme to a word, to a phrase, to a clause, to a sentence. So when there's a sentence there, it's like a doctor trying to do operation. You can literally dissect the sentence, know that this is supposed to be had, not has. This is supposed to be this, not that. And I've really learnt a lot. And as a Kumasi girl, look at me speaking good English. Thanks to the fact that I read English. Yeah. So it has helped me a lot. And if you want to go into the media space, it should be somebody who is able to speak
you
good
have to be
English.
fluent,
Because
yeah.
exactly. So I'm so glad that they gave English to me and they didn't even give me a cons. Right now,
but then one
balancing
disclaimer.
some stuff.
One disclaimer: English is not really hard like that. Like how I just said, it's hard. I mean,
Are you sure?
every field is hard, right? But then once you put your mind to it, you can do it. It's like English when you back in KNUST, English has like two disciplines. We have the literature aspects and then we have the language aspects.
Exactly.
So you can go in there and then you can like, do literature like more. Like once you read, we learn a lot of vocabularies, English vocabularies through reading. So if you want to read English as a program, you need to be ready to read.
But I think I enjoy the language aspect more and he enjoyed the literature aspect more.
Yeah.
And that's why he's a poet. He's a writer. Yeah.
But English is hard though, because all the sharks I know in SHS, you see they had like 7 A's, then 1 B, and a B will be in English.
Yeah.
So he does elective maths, he gets an A. He does physics, he does biology, he gets an A. But then the English, he gets a B. And I mean, there's something that, or the teachers at that level and in that good. That's maybe the situation.
I think it's how we were taught. Because in SHS, when I go to 3rd year, that's when I realized that comprehension, we answer comprehension in a different way. And there's this other thing. It's comprehension and something.
There's summary.
Summary. How we answer summary, there's a technique to answering it. So if your teacher doesn't teach you, and we have the impression that English is just spoken.
Yeah, we know it.
So they wouldn't really come to class to come and teach you like how a science teacher will come and teach you CH++ and C those stuff. But they had to teach us that way. But they were not teaching us that way because there's a formula to it. And in our heads, we're thinking it's supposed to be spoken. So if you can speak good English, you can write good English. And that's a big misconception. You have people who can speak very good English, but they'll go and write English exams and they'll have like a D.
D7.
Do you get? So in written English, there's a lot that goes in. There's a formula to everything in terms of comprehension, in terms of summary, in terms of answering questions. But our teachers didn't teach us that way. They'll come and just say, oh, let's read some passage. Oh, let's answer some
My
questions.
school were writing myself for like a whole academic year.
You have to discover yourself. So
No,
write
like,
more.
no, myself. My English teacher will come to class. My teacher of English, English teacher means like somebody from England. But then teacher of English.
Guys, I didn't know that too. I need to hear my English
means
teacher.
somebody who teaches English. So my teacher of English will come to class and then would say, write about yourselves. And then he'll not even look at it. So he'll come and then he'll ask you, ko uni mo money bro for And then you're like, no sir. Like, okay, to me book no, buy my book and then read it. So it was like he was doing his own business. He wasn't there to teach. But then there are other lecturers or other teachers that were also doing well. And I remember sitting in a class back in SHS and then I was like, why isn't this person teaching me? Because my own teacher there, it was bad. It was really, really bad. I cannot name names, but then it was really bad. If any of my batch or my classmates are seeing this, they will totally agree with me.
But you still like did well in that particular course.
I did well.
Yeah, because to go and do actual English, that means you fell in love with it, right?
I think for me it has always been literature, the literature aspects, and maybe from my formative years, I've always been like a language person, where I learned, I studied French from class 1 to JHS3. I wrote French in BEC, but then when I moved to SHS, I didn't read French. I read English, literature, economics, and then CRS. Like those were my electives. So I lost touch with the French language, and then French language can
stress.
It can really stress you out. So I mean, we must say like comment ça va très bien, like all those things. I mean, don't really roll off like easily on the tongue, but then I think we practice, maybe we can pick it up.
So if anybody didn't notice, you are a poet, right? And you are also a writer. When did you fall in love with that? And then who is your favorite like Ghanaian writer? You don't have anybody in Ghana?
Yeah, I have a lot of people, but then to name names and then
you forget some.
So my favorite writer in Ghana is myself.
Okay.
And the West syndrome.
But then there are people amazing writers. I could only name a few. I love reading Ama Santo Adiaka. I love reading Trifina Yeboah.
I think if you mention the name and just mention like one of their works that somebody can check out.
Okay, so Ama Santo Adiaka, her latest work is like Someone Birthed Them Broken. It's amazing. Like, I don't want to give spoilers. There are some people they don't like spoilers, but then check that out and then read it. And then Trifina Yeboah, she's like the youngest Ghanaian to ever have her work published in African Poetry Book Fund. Like
Charlie.
It's a very
Ghanaians are doing well.
Yeah, so you guys should check her out. And then there is Yeyi Kobina. He has like a series of A Weaving of the Gods, where he has like 3 books out. The Isepe's Dream, Daughters of Dust, and then the other one, I think something of Sons. I don't want to misquote it, but then check that series out. He has 3 out, and then the other one he's working on it. And then there is Ivana Akotoa, the author of like The Year of Return, also an amazing work. And then there are my own colleagues who are also working on like their manuscripts, and then they have like amazing short stories out there. On top of my head, I could mention Benjamin Sero Atta, Reguel Addison, Kofi Kunedu, Poetic Siren, and Mariam Mohammed, Mimi writes, and then these are amazing writers. So Ghanaians are really pushing it out there. So yeah, and then what got me into writing is like I'm trying to put my emotions somewhere. I'm not somebody that really opens up a lot. So if I need to like
Express yourself.
release, I put them into writing. It doesn't mean my works are dark, but then I express myself well or better in my writing. So I think I started writing in 2016. I was in SHS at that time, and do I need to go with that?
Yeah.
So I had lost my mom in 2016, and then I didn't know what grief was. I didn't know where to put my emotions, and I started writing. At that time, I had read a couple of negritude poems, and then
Negritude poems, I remember.
Lawrence Damani's Grief Child, and then
A grief child did a number on
It's like everybody. read it.
Grief Child, and then Things Fall Apart. So I just started writing. I think the first thing that I would call poem that I wrote was like, I think I used the title at that time when I didn't know anything about writing. So it started as Weep Not Child, as things fall apart, do not let sorrows overcome you, no one hears the cries of an orphan. Like, it goes on and on and on and on. So it's like I was consoling myself because I needed somebody to talk to. And then I had gone home for the funeral and then back to school, back to like, I'm supposed to act like nothing has happened, but then it was hard on me, and then I didn't know where to put it. So I started writing. And then moving to uni, I think I wanted to get into like writing more, but then I didn't know how to navigate, or I didn't take the chances because I remember seeing one of my lecturers about my writing. He encouraged me to write more, and then also he was going to help me get it published, but then lecturers can be very, very busy. And then I also didn't do my follow-up. That was like the flaw on my part. But then my batch, they opened for submissions for an anthology, and then I submitted. My friend encouraged me to submit, and then I submitted. It got accepted. And then years down the line, it was added to the curriculum, and now it is being studied. So yeah.
Was that a piece that made you feel like I'm good?
Yeah, yes. I think so. To have to put words together and then for somebody to read it and then say that, oh, this makes sense. I like this. I want these number of people, or I want this generation of people to learn it. It's really, really grounding for me. So I think that was something like a moment that I'll never forget. And then I remember I've been invited by own lecturers. I've been invited as resource person to some of the
big man
some of these classes, and then to hear my poem being taught, like being explicated and everything, it's just beautiful. So from there, I was like, okay, let me get into like professional writing with purpose. And then that's what I've been doing since June of 2024. That was when I started writing professionally. So between that, I was only writing, previously I was only writing poetry.
As a hobby,
But then once I made up my mind I'm going to write professionally, get it published, I was able to like learn. Beginning was hard, but then you get onto like social media and then you meet other writers. It's through social media that I've met like a lot of Ghanaian writers.
So now like you have a community.
It's like, I'm joining the community of writers and then readers, and it's beautiful because if you research, you'd see them. And then it's easier to like find writers and then readers in the Ghanaian space because these days a lot of book clubs and a lot of people are writing.
I think I see it's growth.
Yeah, so I think within a space of 3 months, from June, July, August, September, I had written like my first fiction, and then I submitted to one of the biggest publishing houses. It's outside the country, and it got accepted.
Hey,
like I was over there. Just go. And then that was like really, really grounding for me because to have my work out there, like recognized by a wider audience, put in a wider sense for people to read me. I'm like, so that's what I do.
I've gotten the opportunity to read some of his works. Some are not even out yet. And sometimes the way I see Chris, like, he doesn't see himself that way. He's good like that. He's good with words like
My
that.
manager.
When I read his work, I'm like, you wrote this? I mean, the literary devices he will use, the imagery, the words. And I love the fact that he mostly puts like local languages in his writings. And they are so beautiful. You need to check it out.
I would. The big question is there money inside? Like, can you use that as like your main source of income and then like a career?
Okay, to speak on that, yes, there is money in writing. You can make a very, very good career out of writing. I am only starting out, and then I've started reaping some benefits. Like, for instance, the Dinkra Poetry Prize that I won, there was a prize for it. And
Cash prize?
Yeah, that's like, an easy money to make. I mean, it's not easy
It's
when
not
you're
easy,
writing,
yeah,
but
it's not easy.
it was like
Days of
it was
writing.
cool money to get. And when you go to like, when you explore, I always use X or Twitter a lot. There are a lot of literary journals on there that are always open for submissions, and then some are paid markets, some are also unpaid. But then if you are like a writer trying to build your portfolio, I think one thing I am learning is that I need to focus on the craft more than the money. So I'm like in my learning stages, because I only started writing professionally like in 2024, and then over the years I'm doing like good for myself in the space of writing. There is money in writing. I know people whose only source of income is writing.
Just writing.
So if you want to write, you need to learn the craft. You need to look for opportunities. There are lots of opportunities. There are always like call for proposals. If you have an idea, you pitch to like magazines, publishing houses. You get like your book signed, and then you're already reaping benefits. So there is money. There is money in it.
I like how you are self-aware, you know that you have to work on the craft, even though you've gotten accolades as young as you are, right? It's something that has also dawned on me, because you start your career, you start to get like recognition, but inside, deep down, you know that I'm not really there yet. Everybody's saying I'm there, but
Like, what's the
but like I have to put in some work to reach the level I want to, or I know that I can, right? So if you have that self-awareness, is good, right? For you, I think you're going into PR. And then the media space.
Media.
Is that what you really want to do?
Yes.
As a career?
Yes. I remember so well when I was a young child, I used to watch TV3. TV3 has been my station. I used to watch TV3. I used to watch Portia Gabo a lot. And I was like, I want to do this. Because when I was young, we lived in a compound house. And like all the kids in the evening, we always want to have like a show. So I always found myself being like the main character. I am emceeing everything. I am coordinating everything. So I knew that that's where I really wanted to be. So growing up, seeing myself in camera, being so comfortable speaking, I was like, this is where I find myself. This is where I need to be. So last year, I decided that, let me put myself out there more. Let me try. If I get a gig, emceeing gig, I would do it. And this year, I've had a lot of opportunities, emceeing launches, emceeing KNUST programs, and I'm like, ooh, this is the life I wanted to live. And I feel like there's a lot of opportunities out there, looking at where I find myself and my age. In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, where I see myself is very huge. And looking at the podcast that we have, that's also a platform for me. And I'm still learning to better my craft, so that probably in the next 10 years, when I see myself in a global stage killing it like Anita, you see that, she started from somewhere and she's doing so well. So yes, I see myself in the media, and I believe that I'll go a long way in future.
And I like that you're documenting the journey, so that people can see that this is where you started from, and now you are here. Because sometimes when we see somebody blow, we think he's an industry plant.
Exactly.
He didn't really like labor his way to the position. You spoke about your podcast, and you spoke about having guests on, and most of them are in the spaces of like entrepreneurship and stuff like that. One thing I have a challenge with is the entrepreneurs, because I feel like when they come, they lie a lot, bro. That's what you're telling me.
I started with
it doesn't make sense.
I know, so you're tricking your
and I can't come and platform you and you tell these lies to the people who are watching this one, because I'm your age. I know the struggles. there's some extra help coming in there. Let it known. Because I think quite recently, Amma Veland came to do a video and then she explained her
Talked
journey a
about her
bit.
privileges
Yeah.
that she has had.
Let your privileges be known. I like people who embrace their privilege. My co-host, who is not here today, Grace, she embraces the privilege and look that Charlie, my dad, my mom is pushing. You understand?
Exactly. I think with us, the privilege we had was Oscar.
Mm.
Because Oscar had all the gadgets. Oscar had all the people to work with. We had Dennis on board who is working with Oscar, who knows how to edit, who knows how to shoot. So we didn't really have to sit down to learn editing, to edit our videos, to learn about thumbnails.
I don't even know how to edit.
That doesn't mean that probably in future I would not want to learn, but we had the privilege of having Oscar, who has all these opportunities. All what we had to do is to get the guests, do the coordination, come and sit, have the conversations, and leave it to Oscar to do the rest. And he has his team there that
To
does
help
it.
with, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
So-
not really thinking about you guys in particular. I was thinking about even a guest.
Yeah.
How do you see through the guest and make sure that you're not going to give like you understand?
Yeah. Let me touch on the guest bits. So for us, we started with zero knowledge, like we've been saying, and we are growing. I mean, the initial stages, we've hosted like different range of people. We've hosted very, very influential people. We've hosted up and coming people, and then we've hosted friends, right? And like that's the balance that we want to give to the podcast.
Okay.
So we have the entrepreneurship series, we have like the normal conversations, we have like team focus like mental health, cervical cancer, and then all those things. And to bring a guest on, most of the time we reach out or we see somebody who is trying. Like when it comes to the entrepreneurship series, we've hosted like a number of people. We've hosted the director of Cornfields Green Ghana Limited. We've hosted Matthias Yabe.
Yes,
and then we've
Aquafresh.
hosted Aquafresh. And then we've hosted like 1 Man 1000. Like all these people are like people who are doing very good in
Results
their-
are there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we talk to them like we like the works that you are doing, and then we've been following these people on socials, and then we follow their work. So at least we have an idea of what they are doing, and then we have an idea of what it would do for our audience,
yeah.
if we have them on the podcast. So we reach out to them for like a possible like conversation, and then we get feedback, and then sometimes we struggle
I bet,
with
yeah.
like even guests and then everything. So sometimes we'll have to like get people that are like readily available, because we started as releasing episode like weekly, and they will have to transition into bi-weekly, and then that's so every week you want to release it has to be pre-recorded, have time to edit and everything. So you can have a guest in mind, and then you text the person like even ahead of time, and then you'll be like, it's a very bad timing for me, and then everything. And then some people
Like
to
we all go
agree,
through. Yeah.
some will agree and then cancel last minute,
Yeah.
and then you have to like look for an alternative, and then that's like very hard. And then the live part, I feel like this is like to everybody who will ever be on a podcast show or even in a conversation with anybody about to talk about themselves or what they do. I feel like let us see you for how you are doing,
Yes.
because it is the best thing you can do for us as your listeners or as your audience. Because if you are lying about it, or you're lying about where you are, it will be hard for us to relate with you. We will not stand somewhere and say that, oh, we started with zero coins and everything. I mean, we started with nothing. We had no idea, but then we have people, human capital to build
Yes,
on.
and I like that you put that out
everything.
there.
But if you say we
That's-
started with nothing, we too will be lying. No, we started with 2,000 Ghana cedis. You contributed, and I contributed to buy a house.
I remember, yes.
Yeah.
I remember one of my
Yeah, I
cousins.
remember so well.
We spoke to him. I spoke to him like in a passing. I was like, hey, Charlie, me and my friends were trying to like come up with a podcast. And it's like, hey, when are you starting? Like, you guys. And then he literally gave us like 1,000 cedis just to invest in
Oh.
anything that we want to get.
Charlie, shout out to that friend. When they make it,
Yeah.
But I think on the entrepreneurs line, I think on our podcast, those that we've had they've been very authentic with
we thank God for
the information they give us. And one thing, what we mostly do is we try to look into them to see what they are doing online. If we find out that what you're doing is so inspiring, and most of the time, the people we have are up and coming entrepreneurs, not like already established entrepreneurs who are out there.
So you can see the journey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So most of their informations are very authentic, because the recent episode that's out, we spoke with a lady who is growing her own mushroom farm, and she was a MasterCard scholar. So through her stipends, she got the money to start that journey where she's using mushrooms to do her own breakfast for kids. So with these conversations, they are very authentic because they are startups. So they will tell you exactly what it is. Just that there are some people that, would say, oh, I started with this, I started with that. But I remember when we had Joshua, he talked about the fact that sometimes most of the things they say are true, just that it's not the entire truth.
Yes.
So it's not a lie.
Yeah.
They tell you part of the truth and they leave some parts outside for their personal. But sometimes you need to understand, because it's not everything I need to put out there.
And I'm saying this mainly because of Connected Minds episode I watched with Magdan. And I've been privileged to see Magdan speak live for like 4 or 5 times. And whenever he speaks, the story doesn't add up, bro. Magdan, I'll send you an invite. I want to sit down with you.
You want to break it down?
The story.
We should tell you the first day.
We'll do 3 hours and I'll break everything down, because I've listened to you like 3 times, 4 times, bro. The story doesn't add up.
But sometimes you look at the questioning, because I feel like if you don't ask me that particular question that will bring out that particular answer, you would not get it. I would just answer based on the question you ask me. So probably you question it in a way that will hit that particular spot. That no matter what I say, I need to bring that out, because that's the question you've asked me. Unless I say, oh, I don't want listeners to hear, then you know that there's something you're hiding. But sometimes if you don't ask that particular question, they wouldn't answer that.
Yeah, I love that, because the questioning also is important, really, really important.
Yeah.
Recently, there was this clip that was going around about Kim Kardashian, and on the podcast, she said, "Don't love your job your love."
And
the
whole
host didn't ask
controversy.
any follow up. He
Exactly.
just said, "Yes." I'm like, what does the who mean? What does don't love your job your love? What does it mean? Explain, break it down.
Exactly.
Said,
So if as a host you don't break down the questions, ask follow-ups to make sure that the person dissects the information is giving you, he will just say it as it is, and you just take it as it is, because he didn't ask me to break it down. So questioning is very important when it comes to like podcasting and having conversations with people.
My question to you guys: Galamsey is a big issue.
Yeah.
When you are demonstrating in Accra, there's no Galamsey in Accra. You will know, right?
Yeah.
You don't come from your place, you can come and help us demonstrate here.
I should come from Kumasi and come to Accra.
Or even demonstrating Kumasi yourself. Mobilize the boys there to do. Well, what do you think about the whole Galamsey and then?
It's a menace to the nation and to our general health. I think I express a lot of it these days in my poetry, where I'm going to give you bits. This work is not out yet, but then the line is like the beautiful ones are not yet born. That's the title of a book by Ayukoyama. But then mothers are pushing out deformities. These days, if you look at the footnotes, if you look at the news and everything, you'd see that women go into delivery and then the children that are coming out are either deformed or like it's something else, right? So it's crazy what Galamsey is doing to our community and in our nation right now, because they use lead and then it is seeping into everything that we eat. It is seeping into our water. They've already destroyed our water. It is seeping into the plants. It is seeping into like almost everything, and then we are eating it collectively. Whether you are in Accra, whether you live in a glass house, or whether you are in Western region, Ashanti region, wherever you are, don't say Galamsey doesn't affect you. So we all need to be concerned. I come from Western region, and then where I come from, Galamsey is like, it's done there. You can literally walk by the road, like the main road, the highway connecting, let's say, Dunkau to Ayamfre to like Ekropon to Bogoso to like Pristia, Takwa, Takrade, and then you see Galamsey sites throughout by the roadside. Just by the roadside, you could see people working there, and then the road is used by like varieties of people. We have like ministers, assemblymen, MCs, DCs, like using the road every day. They have seen it. But then there is this whole politics about people who are
really
doing it, and
Yeah, they are in power and all of that.
I think right now what we need to do is to educate the public well, because I feel like there isn't enough education.
It's true.
And the activists, environmental activists, and then everything, they should also try and then get into like the base of the problem, because you can't say you want to kill this soil without like getting to the root cause of it, like what is causing it, how do I prevent it? Because if you are in Accra demonstrating, the Galamsey people, they are in those
the bushes in other
bushes.
regions,
Some of them don't even have access to like internet.
Yes.
Right. So if you are demonstrating and then it's on Twitter,
It's not really getting
like,
to them. Yeah.
they are not seeing you. I've seen videos where people are saying that, oh, they pick videos because of TikTok. They say, oh, Momoti Accra, or like you're in Accra and they are demonstrating. Do you know how we are suffering like in the villages? Because there is like limited opportunities in some of these communities. And then it's very bad because the only resolve is to turn to Galamsey. And then the fact is, like, when people go and then they know that, like, oh, if I'm doing this, like if I'm working the land, I'm doing this, I'm going to get money at the end of the day. And then that's what we're all looking for as youth. We all want to get like something to fall back, to feel comfortable. And then government is not putting enough infrastructure there to help people. There is free education, but then if we go for the free education and then there isn't enough opportunities for us to explore, to put what we have learned to like use, we'll fall back on education. I know a lot of people who have finished university and then they fall back on.
We know plenty of people.
Even my own colleagues, a lot of them.
I think Galamsey. I think on the issue of Galamsey, I saw this documentary that was done by Erastus Asaredonko, trying
really
to
done
compare the rivers that we have in the country and how deteriorating is becoming based on Galamsey. But I feel like it's a personal sentiment that it's like me saying that mini ejume biaye, so I'll go and steal. Do you get? Then you would say, oh, mini ejume biaye intina meye Galamsey. I feel it's equal to saying mini ejume biaye, I'm going to steal, because you know the calamity. It's like a whole big issue where we see our rivers deteriorating, and Chris talking about the fact that now we have babies who they've not done anything, no, but they come out in this world deformed. And that's a big issue. That's a whole national issue that needs to be discussed. And personally, I feel like the government and the traditional leaders can actually solve this. If both of them are to come together and say, this is a cause we want to push. Because if I want the land, don't I go to the traditional leaders? I do. Do you get? So if government and traditional leaders come together and say, this is the agenda, let's push no Galamsey, it's actually going to work. Regardless of the... Was it
politics?
You were saying, Accra, why don't we come for
demonstrate?
You will activize and activize and activize. If government and the traditional leaders are very adamant to what's happening, it will still happen. Do you get? So we need government, we need traditional leaders to sit and say, this is becoming bad. This is not good. Because you have a traditional leader who is there and his lands are being choked left and right. I actually didn't see the gravity of Galamsey till our church decided to go on the funeral. Then on the way, on the left, on the right, the whole place is brown.
Take a right to Western
with the
region.
water and everything. I was like, so this thing is actually happening. And it's literally by the roadside. It's serious like that. Then I really deeped it, that we are actually in trouble. And if we in our generation, we are actually seeing how detrimental this is, look at the next generation that's coming. How is it going to be? So it's very serious. So if our government and traditional leaders are ready for this cause, it will happen. It will stop. So this is a call to them. Don't come for me. But a fact is a fact.
I think I agree with both of you guys, right? Because I don't think they are well informed, especially those who are taking part in the actions. because there was like a video I saw out there, and then the guy was doing Galamsey, and he was saying that people in Accra that are saying they shouldn't do this, but this is what they have to do. And he's saying the water that people are saying he would die. He fetched the water, he drank it. He's still alive.
Didn't die.
So he's not going to die, right?
Yeah.
And he says he will get enough money to even import water if the water gets spoiled. You understand?
Exactly.
So I don't think they really understand the magnitude of what is going on, right? And people will actually say that they don't have any other option, because I know somebody who had like a farmland in a community that is now plagued with Galamsey, right? And what they do is that they come and buy the lands around you if you don't want to sell yours. So you have a farmland here, maybe you're growing cocoa, you're growing palm. They start buying the lands around
That's
your
strategy.
Yeah.
and then now your land alone is in the middle of
Exactly.
Galamsey. So you have to sell it out. You understand?
Yeah.
Because even if you don't sell it,
You can't,
your plants are going to
are,
die.
you understand?
Yeah.
And
So-
then one thing is infrastructure. You see, Ghana was like one of the biggest cocoa exporters in the country. But then if you look at the prices of cocoa and then the incentives that cocoa farmers get, is like very, 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 very like sad, because somebody will grow cocoa. It takes a number of years for it to like
at least 5 years.
Yeah. and
to mature.
they'll work, they'll sun dry it, and then everything, the whole process and everything, and then they'll carry it to the sellers, and then they'll give them like just some small money for the whole this thing, and then we are not benefiting even enough from our own cocoa. We are exporting, and then people are
Refining them and then
in their offices, they are in conference rooms and then naming prices for people's hard work, and then it's not nice. If you want to, you need to involve the people. We need to see that, oh, this work that I am doing, this is the benefit of it. Cocoa farmers are suffering, and then it's not just cocoa farmers. We are pushing, like, there are a lot of policies or a lot of like spaces where people are pushing for people to get into like farming, agriculture, and everything. But if you look at, I have had interactions with people who are into farming and everything. If you look at the infrastructure in place, it's not helping, because if you are a young entrepreneur, like you want to get into like the agricultural sector, and you don't have like some huge funding or some money,
it's going to be difficult.
you suffer, because one, like, you'll be paying taxes and then everything, and then if you're like somebody who doesn't have in quotes knowledge on how to store your products, how to market it, and then everything,
It will be difficult
yes,
for you.
look at the number of local farmers that are growing like vegetables and everything across Ghana, and then look at how our roads are.
To even bring it to
Yes,
like
to
town
get it
to,
on
yeah.
the market is like very difficult. Sometimes I'll be on the Kumasi stretch, and then you see like maybe a truck carrying tomatoes, freshly harvested tomatoes, and it has fallen, and then all the tomatoes, like somebody's hard work for months, it's gone. Like they won't get like anything out of their tomatoes. So what is the government doing? Look at our roads. I mean, just around us. Look
Yeah,
at
it's
our
bad.
roads.
So you're
It's
actually
very
doing the
bad.
activism on your podcast.
It's bad. I feel also like it's partly peer pressure, because if you're in a community that's what everybody's doing,
Yeah.
you're easily going to join
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's
yes.
quick money. Yeah, it's quick money.
Yes.
That's very true.
Yes, I think that's very true, because where I come from Wase Kropon, and then if anybody knows Wase Kropon, they know that people do Galamsey there a lot, and I know my
I
people.
saw the chain is not gold chain.
Hey, I beg go. This is just gold plated.
Who dig this bit for
Who dig
me?
this bit for me? This is just gold plated though. So and if it comes into contact with sweat, it will just. So what I'm trying to say that yes, the peer pressure is like very, very, very at play here, because if I go back to Western region right now and I stay there for a very long time,
You forget the
I'll,
poems.
yes, I'll forget about writing.
Yeah,
because,
like you see your
because
friends
it takes
in there
it-
doing it.
yeah, it takes a lot of time to write. Like that's my writing design. It takes a lot of time, and then even if you submit to magazines or even awards and everything, it will take like a number of months for them to deliberate, read the work, and then say that, oh, we like this work. So if I'm like, it's my source of income. Let me give you analysis. let's say if you submit a work, it will take like, let's say 4 weeks or 4 months, sometimes like 5 months before you get a response. So if I submit in September, I can get a response in January or February.
Yeah.
And then if I'm waiting for money, that's if I get an acceptance and then it's a paid market or a paid submission. That's when I'm going to be like have hopes that I'm going to get money. So if I go back to Western region right now and then my colleagues are going to Galamsey sites to work and then they come home, they come home with money. Like in a day they can make like 3,000 cedis, 5,000 cedis, 10,000 cedis even. Don't you think I would just stop writing? Because if like I'm going to quote one of my colleagues, he says that if your life begins at survival, you are not concerned about saving the world. Because if I am trying to save my own self, and then that's from Riguel Addison, if I am trying to save my own self, why would I be concerned about what's happening in the world? Because and then these people, majority of them, if you interact with them, if you look at their demeanor and everything, you realize that they need education.
Yes.
Proper education. Even with those education, like they also need like practice into like certain soft skills, certain conversations. Like they need to be exposed to certain conversations for them to like realize it's going to be hard, but then it's doable. And then I feel like the government can do this by putting like money, policy, and an infrastructure in place to help us.
But I feel like you guys are talking about these things from the perspective of those that are on the field doing the Galamsey.
Yes.
But the issue starts from the top.
Follow the money.
It's not those down there. That's what those down there is the survival. They need it for survival. But those at the top, buying the lands, buying the excavators, that is where the problem is. Do you get? Not those that are down there fetching for the money, because with them they can be arrested, they can be, I mean, do you get it?
Yeah.
But the issue starts from the top.
Because to buy an excavator is not easy.
Exactly.
And then every day they are moving around.
So as I said, politicians and political traditional leaders.
I don't have cut money.
Yes, let's not get into that. We're not naming names, but then I mean, politicians. If you think it is you,
I mean,
but then
I'm
I
not
think
mentioning any
all
names.
these things can be worked on because.
And let's have that sense of nationality. That's Ghanaianism. That as a Ghanaian, you know that this is your land, this is your survival, and you are destroying it. But I mean, it's not everything that's about money. It's not everything that's about money, to be honest.
So what does it want money?
You disagree, but it's not everything that's about money.
Yeah, I mean, that's
to be
very
honest.
true.
If everything is about money, then we'll all be stealing from each other. We'll all be killing each other for money.
We need to think about the future.
Exactly.
Think about the
If
future.
people didn't, preserve the Ghana that we have today,
would we be here?
yeah, we wouldn't.
Exactly.
So we also need to, in as much as I'm sure you want to have kids, you want to have kids.
Exactly.
And then what are you leaving for your kids? What will be their story?
Exactly.
How will they survive? Because even right now, sachet of water is like 50 pesos. Very soon, I'm sure it will keep climbing up. Bottled water, like there are some people, they can't take sachet water at all because how is the sachet water being made?
Yeah.
Right? And then even the bottled water, at a point, it will extend to all these people. I'm sure, like, we think that it will not touch us because, maybe I drink bottled water, I live like in a glass, but it will get to you. Like Ghana, if Ghana wants to happen to you, it will happen
Exactly.
to you.
But there's been videos where people open their taps and it's literally brown water that's coming out. So what water will you use to cook? What water will you use? Will you use the Belacqua? No free adverts for Belacqua. Will you use that water to bath? I mean, it will affect everybody. So it's not always about the money. It's always about the need to survive. Come on, guys. Can do better.
So my way,
You speak about nationalism, right?
Yeah.
What do you think the Ghanaian dream is? You have like the American dream. To you.
The Ghanaian dream.
do I have a dream as a Ghanaian?
But when you say the Ghanaian dream, as in the Ghana we envision, in the next future.
Yeah, like the American dream is that once you're in America, it's a land of possibilities. So you can start from like the lowest person in the company and then rise to become the CEO, right? So what do you think the Ghanaian dream is?
I think with Ghana, even with the issue of Galamsey, look at what we are talking about. But for me, I've always been very positive and very optimistic. Where people say, I also add in the code that don't travel abroad, you can make it in Ghana. I strongly believe in that.
So you know Jackpa?
It's not like if I get a chance, I will not go. I will go, but I'm those people who will go and come back and make the country better. Because I believe I can go and better my skills and come and help my country. But if you really look at what's actually happening in the country, you would understand why people are traveling abroad, going to study, going to find better opportunities. Because I feel like the country doesn't really give the young adults the opportunities to grow. Because you try and overcall left, right, center, okono. It's like there's not that support for a young adult to thrive. So you would have to try and survive, try and create opportunities for yourself. But I still believe that there's still that way to thrive. If you really want to thrive, you can fetch for that opportunity. I strongly believe that though there are few opportunities, when you search and search and search, you will find it.
Do you really believe that you can make it in Ghana? You don't have to go outside.
I promise you, I believe that you can make it in
people
Ghana.
are making it in Ghana.
Yeah.
People are really making it like every big man I've
okay.
seen.
I mean, with the podcast that you do, in the next 10 years, don't you think you'll be making it in Ghana if you're consistent?
But I
I strongly believe in that with the podcast that we do.
Yeah.
Where I see myself and us in the next 10 years is very big. I mean, I like to picture things in the long term. Do you get? So if we've started this and we are just almost 2 years into this and we look at ourselves in the next 10 years, the future is bright for us. And that would be us making it in the field. Do you get?
My only reservation is that almost all the big men I know, when they tell their story, there is some, I went outside the country in there. Okay, yeah, all podcasters, right? In a space in Ghana. And the biggest is Derek, the Connected Minds guy.
Yeah.
He came from outside. He came, there was some kind of investment in what he does. So there was like, when you travel outside and you're coming back, at least you're holding some cash. So you can come and inject that capital in whatever you're doing, right? Almost all the big men I know traveled outside.
Yeah.
So me saying I want to stay in Ghana and then do it. As I grew, I'm like, hey, should I change my mind? Should I also go and then come? You understand? And even in Ghana, you're saying, it doesn't give the young person the opportunity to really thrive.
Yeah.
So you see the people who are actually making it starts at maybe 30 plus.
Yeah.
Instead of another person has at least.
Yeah.
But in America, you can say someone is 18 years and the person is doing well.
I mean, looking at the privileges, America has a lot of privileges than our country. Yeah. But I believe there are people who started it and they are making it. With the podcast that you talked about, I think we have Stay by Plan. They started and I think they are doing so well for themselves with the journey and how far they've come. I have always been the advocate of stats and just look at the journey. Because without the journey, you would have nothing to say. If I come and I had everything sorted, what's the story? There's no story. Do you get? In Ghana, it's tougher, it's harder because the opportunities are not there. But give yourself 10 years, give yourself 15 years. In the next 15 years, you would do so well for yourself. Do you get it? Just that sometimes we want the quicker way. We want the quicker opportunity. We want things to be done very fast.
Ghana,
but it doesn't happen that. Look at the country that you are in and just try and take your time. Because just give yourself some time because it doesn't come very easy. We have people who have a lot of privileges and that's fine. But if you don't have it, just go ahead with the journey. We don't have a lot of privileges like that. We don't really come. I don't come from a very rich home. Do you get it?
So like she throwing you out of the bus. Do you come from a good home? A rich home.
I don't come from a rich home.
If I should start my life story right now, it might not end the episode. I don't also come from like a privileged background. Yeah.
So we've done well for ourselves.
But we are doing something for ourselves.
Oh, yeah, true.
And I believe in few years,
We'll blow.
We'll blow.
Yeah,
Do
we'll
you
look
get
back
it?
and say, Charlie.
So just don't look at how quick it can be.
Mm.
Just enjoy the journey.
Can I
It can be hard.
can
but
I speak to
enjoy
the
it.
Ghanaian dream?
Yeah, the Ghanaian
Yeah.
dream.
I don't really know if like what the Ghanaian dream has been like in the previous years.
Mm.
But then one thing I would want to speak to as like somebody who is learning a lot as I am growing is that we need to educate our parents.
We should educate our parents.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
You wanna do,
Let me land. Let me land. Let me land before this because
This is a Gen Z spirit.
this becomes trouble, right? I've said it before that there is a break in communication between our generation and the older generation,
Yeah.
and we need to work on that. But then by educate our parents is as we the young adults, we have younger siblings who are also going to carve career paths for themselves. Our parents are of the traditional conventional notion that you need to get some white collar job to appear like
If
made
made
it
in life,
in
yeah.
Ghana, and then that's what we've been trained with, that go to school, get job at a job at a bank,
Be a lawyer.
be a doctor, and then if you are not these whites,
You feel.
you have failed.
Yeah.
But then there is a lot to people. There are a lot of creativity here in Africa. Like you see everything. Like the creative minds,
Yeah.
I would say, are from Africa, and then they are building like the global West.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
And then we need to also benefit that. These podcasts that we are doing, we share our works on Spotify for podcasters, and then it's disseminated
out
like
there,
to
yeah.
other platforms as well. But then we're not making anything. The stipends or the payments for creators is not enough.
Yeah.
And then there should be a conversation with these in economies, like these big brands, these platforms. And then that is something that I think the government can do to help
Yeah.
creators, because there is a lot of manpower, there is a lot of people getting into
Going to that
creativity,
space, yeah.
Exactly.
entering into like content creation. And then right now it's like content is pushing the world,
Yeah.
where everybody, you can just sit in a very like small corner in the world and then you can make it. But
Yeah.
then when it comes to Africa, it's like we are considered like an afterthought when it comes to creativity. But then we are there like originators, like
Yeah, really.
we are the
pushing that,
original.
yeah.
Like there is
Pushing
nothing before, there is nothing after. Everything is us. But then when it comes to like where we need to benefit, we need to make money out of our
Then
craft.
the problem
Then the
comes.
problem starts.
Exactly.
If you research like a lot of like creative economies, you realize that there isn't a lot of opportunities available. And then even with the very few opportunities that are there, it's like there is like austeric requirements to meet. You need to be in certain way. You need to do this. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing this. So even if like you have like your own creative vision, you have to, I'm not saying don't listen to like direction, but then there are people who have like signature. That's what they do
What
best.
to do, yeah.
But then people will try, like if you don't do this, they are trying to box you
in, yeah.
into like some corner, and then it makes the market saturated
It's one
in the
style.
sense that like if you look at this person A, if you look at person B, person C, it's the same content but then told with different voices. I mean, it can be done told with different voices, but then there should be that like free movement where people are allowed to grow. So coming back to like the Ghanaian dream, I think we should allow people to dream for themselves.
Yeah.
Dream for themselves in the sense that parents and then guardians are supposed to guide their your children. You're not supposed to choose for them that
Impose.
by hook or crook you need to be a lawyer, by
Yeah.
hook or crook you need to be a doctor. You should witness their growth. You should witness what their interests are, what their hobbies are, and then try and invest into them. We have put so much weight on like the classroom academics or the classroom education, in the sense that
Yeah.
we are not developing a lot of creativity outside the classroom. There are children who have like a lot of creativity in them, and then they are not doing so well in the classroom because, in quotes, that's not where
They're not
they're
their
supposed to
field,
be.
Yeah.
They are supposed to be put in different settings. They has to be like,
Systems in place
yes.
to cater for
Right now,
such
let me
people.
just share a personal story that I didn't think I would share. I have read English. I'm still figuring things out,
Out,
right?
yeah.
But then I am getting into like a practical field, a different field from what I have studied in school, because there is a lot I could do with English, but then the options are limited, and then the requirements is like crazy. So I'm getting into something else. It's something that I've always wanted right from the beginning. I've always wanted to do. And then now I am pursuing it. I have been guided to do certain things. And then, I mean, those are beautiful, but then some are like complex. I feel like if we guide people to do the things that they love, it doesn't become work for them. It becomes something that they grow to enjoy instead of like,
And they can easily excel at it because it's something that they love, so they can put in more time into that.
Exactly.
I think the creative economy in Ghana is growing. And like you said, there's a risk of things becoming one way. We are seeing influencers that are coming up, and almost everybody's doing the same style. So people like Chef Abby's is doing well, and you can see that recognition is there. Because
really
it's
like
a bit
her
different from the normal food content creation we see out there. As we end this, right, I want to know your predictions for the future, that's one, in the podcast landscape and the creator economy in general, right? And also for your podcast, what should people check out going into next year that you guys are going to like do?
Okay, so let me start with the future of the creative economy. As Chris was saying, now we have full-time photographers who can write on their CV that I'm a full-time photographer. And that's a good thing. We should clap to that. We have full-time video editors. We have full-time podcasters who do everything. They don't go for 9 to 5 and all of that. So I believe the creative industry is going to flourish in the coming future. And we'll have a lot of people who can comfortably say that I do this full-time. I podcast full-time. I photograph full-time. And I believe that's a good thing. Because now you would say, oh, I'm a photographer. And your parents will say, oh, side job. Do you get it? So they don't really see it as a full-time job that you can do. But I feel like now people are growing into it. People are accepting it. And if there's more education, probably it will be accepted and the creative industry would actually flourish. And with how we see the podcast in the coming years, I think, as I earlier said, I always picture big things. I don't know. I like to picture things a lot. And I like to look at the positive side too much instead of looking at the negative side, which is a good thing. I believe with a podcast, probably in the next few years, what we want to do is probably have a live show where, where we can have people in studio sit and watch us have a discussion, probably have people with us and have those discussions. Because I remember when we were shooting one episode, we had this lady in studio, Abby, and she was like, she now understands why people pay to go and listen to live podcasts. Then it hits me, okay, it means you're doing something better, because she enjoyed the episode while she was there. So there's a possibility that we can have a live episode. I actually said we should do it this year, but because of some 1 or 2 things we couldn't do it, and I'm hoping that next year we are able to have it, because there's a program that they do on campus. It's called Open Mic, where creatives, singers, poets come and perform. So we would want to collaborate with them and probably have a live show and see how it goes. So that's how we see our podcast in the next future. And we are trying to make it like in the form of a studio, probably like a media hub, because now we are in the digital world where we have the new media. So if we are able to extend it to have like a whole media house, that would be a wonderful thing in the coming years. And probably we'll stop the 9 to 5 and start doing podcast full time.
I think KNUST has like a very lively creative hub, right? And they've produced some good creatives. I think the owner of Echo House is from KNUST. Brian Master is from KNUST. Mr. Easy, he attributes most of his success to being on KNUST, right? So if you guys can nurture that with your show on there, it would
That's
work.
a good thing I've not even thought about, that having creatives also coming to learn how things are done, probably educate people, because I am continuing my studies in media and communication studies. So that's a good thing. Thank you so much for bringing that. When we start that, I'll credit that to you.
I'm coming in from the future of podcasts for Tekamso, and I would say that we have started great. and we are going to keep getting stronger.
Yeah.
But one vision that the podcast has always had is to give time for people to reflect, give time for people to be inspired to do better for themselves. So in the coming years, I am hoping that we will be able to offer practical workshops for people who are also trying to get into media and communications, not just podcasts, but then also strategic communication, content creation, and I mean, all these media fields, outlets, we need to be able to collaborate with industry experts and then people who can, they have like a lot to offer, like workshops, not just media, but then across all fields, so that people can experience them like on a very close proximity. So there will be like workshops, and then we're hoping for a lot of funding, even on our parts, to be able to also fund other people's dream, because it's another thing to have a dream and then not have anybody to support you, and then it's a different thing to have people to support you, to direct you, that I trust your vision, I trust what you are doing. So we're hoping to get like a lot of partners, a lot of collaborators, Patreons, to be able to execute the ideas that we have to also like maybe make it bigger for other people to also learn. And then we're hoping to have like interns, people to also learn from us, because we want to create something that would outlast us.
Exactly.
We will not always be Take Soul podcast. We will be like ourselves, but then there should be people. So there should be training for all these people to take over and then everything. And then when it comes to the creative economy, I like what I'm seeing. One creative this thing that I would salute right now is the Creatives Project of Ghana. If you look them up on Instagram, you'd find them. It's spearheaded by a very like young people, very very young people, just like myself. And then the way they are pushing Ghanaian creatives to like the global front is like crazy. They have like a writing journal, which is like the Hummingbird Journal. They have established the New Voices Poetry, which I have shortlisted for, and then the awards night is on 4th of October at the E Anansi Studio. So you can just go grab a ticket. It's free for you to attend, and there's a lot of infrastructures that they are putting in place to support all creatives. So whether you are a podcaster, whether you're a writer, whether you're a musician, like whatever you do, they are there to support you. Tag them, collaborate with them, and then they will help you grow. So I see beautiful things happening, and I would also give credit to Chapter 54, founded by Ama Ofebia. She's like one of the Ghanaian creatives that are helping young creatives like myself. I had the opportunity of being in a mentorship program that she founded, and it was a 6-month mentorship program that has taught me a lot about writing, about having a personal brand, about doing a lot of things that I do now. So I would say that it's beautiful to see that creatives are thinking about the next generation. So yeah, if people are thinking about the next generation, that means the future looks bright. It looks exciting. I hope that if we get into these spaces, we'll be able to learn, and then there will be like a lot of flexibility and a lot of funding for people to thrive in these fields. So the creative economy looks good.
And I think with the podcast, in the coming years, we are very open for collaborations. If you're an NGO, if you're undertaking any outreach program, we would love to collaborate with them and make sure that we give back in a way to the people that we give the information to, if I should say.
Audience.
So we are very open for collaborations. If you want to collaborate, if you even want to come on the podcast, we are very open. Just shoot an email to us, or you can just text.
Email.
Or you can just text.
We do check our emails
you can just. I check my emails every morning.
There's
you can just.
You can not say like right now. Sorry for cutting you.
Yeah.
But then communication is another thing that this generation is struggling with, where this generation doesn't know how to communicate like effectively.
Yeah.
So there are lots of tools. I'm not saying, but then AI is making a lot of things easier now.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of people and they'll be like, oh, me, I respond to my emails with ChatGPT, like I form my thought, and like all those
Okay.
tools are available.
Makes sense.
So it's easier to communicate, and then we need to learn that.
Yeah.
WhatsApp and everything, people don't know how to communicate, but then it's easier in email. Me, I check my email a lot because as a writer, I've submitted somewhere. I'm waiting for an acceptance or a rejection to
you
come and
can't-
break
you
me. And
can't-
then
exactly.
I'm also looking for people who are like maybe reaching out and everything. So email, yeah, I'm making use of it. And I think
Yeah.
everybody, like if you are being a creative, you should have like an email. Right now, even, yeah.
But
That reminds me, you know, people employ people to check their emails for them because they
I've
have like
never
a
heard
lot of
it.
work, like personal assistants or like just
OPs,
email.
okay,
So they
okay.
employ them. They don't have time
To check
because of the work they
where-
do to check their email. So they employ people that they pay them monthly.
to
to
check.
Even in
But-
socials. it's
Employing-
But in case if you can't reach us on email, just reach us on our social media platforms. We'll
like-
respond
we
in
are
our
Gen Z.
DMs.
We are using
So,
social media every day.
yes. Let's do social media. Let's not do email.
Follow for follow.
Yeah, you're ready to collaborate. So
My
yeah.
last question.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful to see you guys have started a podcast. Everything is rosy now, but even in marriages, there are breakups. right?
Yes.
When that day comes that one person says, I want to stop.
Mm.
Because I follow a lot of podcasts in the Western world and their breakups are like nasty, bro.
Yeah.
People are fighting over the name. I started the account. I'm taking the account. Have you both had that discussion that's okay? This is because you were saying that even with the couch, you bought like 1,000 cities, and
Yeah,
you went to buy
you
the
bought
couch.
it,
So that means you are
Yeah.
joint owners and you share in that, right? I think with this one, it's a bit of a different approach we took on this one, right? But I'm listening to yours, I'm like, oh, okay. So have you had a conversation that if today I'm leaving, how is that one going to be like?
You
Let me go.
understand?
Yeah. So on the issue of this collaboration, because she's my partner, we are all equals, and I haven't been like a very big person on like being in front of camera, because I remember at the latter part of last year when we were having like reflections on how the podcast has been, I even wanted to step back and then maybe creatively direct
Oh,
and
okay.
then have her on screen to like host, because to me it was her field. I wanted to step back and then give her the time to shine. So maybe it may come a time maybe where I would step back and then have her do like
Tried it that way.
run everything
Is it right away?
run everything, but then we could be partners, like the partnership is going to last.
Yeah.
And then everything, and then it's not just the two of us, we are in
Have
partnership
other-
with our production team, and then we keep on like, I mean, looking out for people to, you know, partner with us and then everything. So we might have like partners, a lot of them maybe, and it can't be one person's decision that, oh, I don't want to do
To
this
do this
podcast.
anymore.
One,
Hey,
like I
if
said,
I won't come out, I can't do my house.
Like I
You gotta
said-
hold my hand.
like I said,
Okay.
like I said, we are trying to build something that would outlive us.
Exactly.
So without me, the podcast should go on.
Yeah. True.
Without her, the podcast
go
should go on. So never say never. There will be moments where we can fight, we can disagree, but and everything. But
That's-
then once there are partners
Exactly.
everywhere, the podcast should go
So
on.
that's the point I was even coming to make. You talked about the fact that there are marriages that are not smooth.
Yes.
We've had countless fights. I promise you. I am that person that if I want this done, I want it done. And Chris would be like, oh, let's look at it this way. We can do it this way. And I would be standing on my grounds. You get? So we've had like a lot of back and forth and all of that, which is very normal in any partnership. And if there's no friction, then it means
It's not healthy.
it means one person is not functioning well. Do you get it? But one thing I would always say is always make sure you have like something written down.
Yeah.
If you want to go into any partnership, make sure that you have something written down so that there's that kind of evidence that,
To show that,
if somebody
yeah.
wants to do something, you show something.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you trust the person, there should be a written agreement. It can be unofficial or it can be unprofessional. Like probably it's not a lawyer that looked through, but at least have something written down so that if anything happens, you have something to show.
True.
And that's what we've done. And this is to all podcasters or all creatives.
All creatives in
make
general.
sure that you put something down because now there's issues of copyright, there's
Yeah.
issues of IP and all of that.
And once
So-
money starts coming in,
Yeah.
money changes everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
It
just
will
We
have-
say
change a
money
lot of
doesn't change
things.
people.
Yeah.
It changes
Hey,
people.
me, the money will change me. So bring me the money, you will change me.
Exactly. So
I'll see you
as
and I'll
for-
not see you.
As for the friction, it's bound to happen, but make sure that you have a written document down so that
Yeah.
if anything happens, you have something to show.
Guys, it's nice having you people here.
And we are so grateful that you had
grateful.
us. I
Thanks
mean,
for
I
having
love
us.
the conversations we've had.
Yeah, the conversation has been great.
Yeah.
It goes to show that collaborations work. So the Ghanaian creators collaborate too. I don't like how you guys are always in your one corner. I would, whenever you come to Accra, please pass through. When we are also in Kumasi, we would like to pass through.
Yeah,
Definitely.
we'd love to have
Definitely,
you. We'd love to
definitely.
have you on the studio. On collaboration, I think we came from a program, Telecel program, and it was through Zoo and Afi
Okay.
that we came. We collaborated with
Went
other
for Blueprint.
creators. And
Afi gave us Blueprint.
and it's been so wonderful meeting them. They were so
But you think they're lovely
relatable.
people, yeah.
Yeah,
stay by
I
plan.
was surprised because sometimes
I was surprised. What were you expecting?
I mean, there are certain
No,
people
there are
that
some
when they get to
creatives,
certain places,
they can be
try
like a little
to-
bit
But
hard
they've
to
been
deal with.
so beautiful. They've
Shout
been
out to
so
them, Afi
open.
and Zoo.
Shout out to Afi
Zoo.
and Zoo.
We
of
love
Stay by
you.
Platform.
Yeah. So let's collaborate more. And I
Yeah.
think if we collaborate, we would all thrive. Everybody has a space, and we can all thrive through collaboration.
Charlie. So, and then we end with recommendations. So, recommend anything you're listening to, anything you're watching, any brand you think people should check out.
I think people should read more. Read more books.
Can you give recommendations on any book?
The Mountain is You.
Brianna
You
West.
are the mountain. That book would make you come out of your shelves if you are self-sabotaging, because as creatives, we go through imposter syndrome a lot. That who am I to do this? Who am I to be seen? Who am I to blah, 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 blah. Forget about that.
Forget
That
about
book helps you to come out of your shelves, to be not shy. Right now, I feel like social anxiety is even scared of me. When I step into a place, I don't
ahead.
care.
Run away. Hey, she's coming.
I don't care if you are seeing me. If I want to have an interview with you, I am coming to you. At first, I was not like that. I'm like, probably somebody is looking at my shirt or. No, I don't think about those things. If I want to come to you, I'm coming to you. And that book really helped me to do that. So, Charlie, grab that book, The Mountain is You, and it's going to help you with all your self-sabotaging syndromes. Yeah.
Okay. On recommendation, I actually have I started a book club for boys. It's called Boys and Books.
Finally, someone doing something for just boys.
Yay!
I'm not clapping to that.
Finally, somebody who
Only
agrees.
girls, only girls, only girls.
Yes, I see
Yes,
book clubs
we're
and it's for
empowering
girls.
the
It's for
girl
girls. It's for girls. So I have a book club called Boys and Books. You can
Yeah.
find us on Instagram and
Nice.
then on
We
Twitter. We read African authored books.
Nice.
So we started with one book, like 2 books a month, but then dynamics have changed, and then right now we do 1 book a month, or sometimes 4 short stories a month, and then we read amazing stories, and it's beautiful. You can just get in contact, and then we just get through the process, and then add you. Read together. Like, reading is amazing. I've learned a lot of things through reading, and then I'll always say that you need to read African authored books, read books, self-help books. They are good, but then to me, in my perspective, they are mechanical, but then that doesn't mean they're not good. The Mountain is You that she mentioned, I've also read it, and then it's an amazing book. It's a self-help
Nice.
book.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, so
You need to.
it's not for creatives, it's for everybody.
Yeah.
You need to read that book. And one book that I would recommend will be Someone Birth Them Broken.
Bye.
Ama Asantoa Diaka.
Okay.
And then also The Year of Return by Ivana Osei Akotoa. And then also I would recommend
One thing
Yeah.
about Crazy, we'll never give one recommendation. Talk about people and you mention 5.
But I like how you plug this. Yeah, I plug in them. It make it's
yeah,
good.
there are people who have influence on my work,
Yeah.
and then and then also, yes, Edinkra Poetry Prize. Let me use this platform. Very soon they will be open for the 2026 Edinkra Poetry submissions. If you are a writer, or once you can speak and write, you're a writer. You just need the foundation and then the right maybe direction, and then you can produce an amazing work. So the Edinkra Poetry Prize will be open soon, and you can submit, and then hopefully you win. Even if you don't win, you make it to the shortlist. There are a series of workshops in place for the Edinkra Poetry Prize that teaches you. You have the opportunity to interact with people who have already gone through the process. They know how to write, and then it will be of like a very good use to you. So utilize this space. Very soon in October, I think from 17th to 19th, there will be Peja. Peja is like a very big literary festival across Africa. So it's happening this year again, like every year. And then it's happening from 17th of October to 19th of October. You can just look them up, and then you can sign up for some of the workshops, go into the creative space, interact with all the creatives there. Yeah, that'll be your saving grace, because I am interacting with a lot of creatives, and then it's opening up a lot of conversation, it's opening up a lot of possible collaborations, and then I'm learning a lot. So that would be my recommendation for
more of the story. Don't be in your room. Go out.
Step out.
Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. It's been fun having them here. Please plug your podcast.
Yes, so we are the Take So podcast on Twitter, X, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. We're on LinkedIn, so make sure you're following us. I think so far we're the
only podcast on LinkedIn.
Is there? I'm not seeing them. So yes, they're on LinkedIn, so make sure you're following us and subscribe to our channel. The Take So podcast.
We need to chop Oyibo
We need subscription. We need a subscription. We love our subscribers. We love our followers. And we love those that are listening and they are watching. But I feel like there are lots of people who watch, but they don't subscribe. The subscription is very important. So make sure you're subscribing. And thank you so much for supporting us. We love you.
Yeah. So this is not for Take So, but then for all creatives. If you see your friends out there who are trying to put content out there, even if you don't like it, at least support them, because they are putting in a lot of effort, a lot of resources, a lot of energy to create whatever that they are creating and then putting out there. You know, a lot of people, when you come into contact with them and then you even pull out a camera, they're like, oh, me, I'm shy and everything. So look at your friends that are taking the steps, putting themselves out there. Support them, because it's not easy to be behind the camera and then put a lot of like your business out there and everything. So support creatives. Creatives are humans. Support us.
That's very important, because before we started the podcast, I didn't really understand how it is to support people, to like, to comment. Now, when I see a video of a friend, I don't even watch it. I just like and I put fire there.
Oh, me, I
don't have to look at the gravity or what's in there.
You're looking for good karma. So you're looking for the people that are to be done for you.
I think that's what we should all do. If you see your friend trying, it's putting out videos on social media, don't just watch and pass.
Are we making a lot of money out of this thing? We are not.
Yeah,
so just make a conscious effort to support people who are trying. Do you get? It doesn't take any money. It doesn't take anything to subscribe.
You have ended the show, but then I want to throw this question to you. What keeps you going as a creative?
The money, Charlie.
But then are you getting the money?
I'm not getting shit.
It's passion, right? So people need to support you. People need to like, So please subscribe.
Support me.
Act your age, and then subscribe to the podcast.
Subscribe to the Take
Bye, guys. Bye, Charlie.